This right here is my new motorized desk. I picked up the top from IKEA, which is a 160 by 80 centimeter Bekant tabletop, costing just £70, which isn't too bad. It's made from particle board, melamine foil, and has a plastic edging around it, so it's much stronger and robust than the Linmon or like Captain, which have that weird honeycomb cardboard paper interior. For a lot of people, I'm sure that would probably be completely adequate and fine, but I've got a habit of mounting arms for lights, microphones, and have accidentally over-tightened or put too much weight on them before, and the cardboard desk has started to collapse or get crushed. But the most important part of this sit-stand desk is the motorized legs, and they did not come from IKEA. IKEA's Bekant sit-stand desk frame, which is designed to work perfectly with this tabletop, costs £390. A figure I was no way willing to pay because it doesn't even include the tabletop at that price, so it'd be £460 including the tabletop. On the bottom of this IKEA Bekant top that I am currently using are several pre-drilled holes which would line up perfectly with the Bekant under frame. As I'm not using that with mine, there are quite a few extra holes under the bottom, which looks a bit untidy. But when you start to add cables and extension leads and cable ties, a couple extra holes aren't really much of an issue. By now, I can only imagine what you're thinking.
Oh, come on, mate. Just tell us what legs you're using. It's hardly a secret. It's in the description and the thumbnail. Just come on and tell us already.
So I'll cut to the chase. The Lubvlook dual motor electric stand-up desk frame. This was only £185 on Amazon. It comes with a 3-year warranty and it supports up to 100 kilograms of load. This is great as the tabletop I'm currently using weighs around 16 kilos, which gives me plenty of room to attach my 2 Elgato key lights, an Echo Show 8, and the extension lead on the bottom of the desk, which brings me up to around 20 kilograms of weight so far. This leaves me plenty of scope to add some fairly heavy objects on top of the desk for product reviews too. If you are enjoying this video so far, feel free to click that subscribe button. There's a sign behind me, just in case you forget. Anyway, back to the video. My main reason for picking up the Lubvlook system, beside from the price, was the fact that it came with built-in presets available to set at different heights, which some of the slightly cheaper models around the 150 mark don't offer. This way I can decide to set it up for standing shots like this, sitting shots, and finally at a level which I find much more comfortable for working on PCs rather than constantly being kind of hunched over, which is a very much welcome addition. Saving or adjusting profiles down the line is incredibly simple. You just need to set it to a specific height, then hold down the S key until the display shows an S with a couple lines. After that, just press 1, 2, or 3 to set the height. And then after that again, just press the S key and you're good to go. That is saved. With these legs, the height ranges from 70 to 120 centimeters, which is perfect for a hobbit-sized man like me, who is only 5'8".
Stupid fat hobbit.
As far as getting a tabletop to fit or cover the Lubvlook legs, you'll need something that's at least 60 centimeters deep, which isn't hard to find, and something between the width of 110 to 150 centimeters. Of course, you can exceed that, which I have here, with no issue whatsoever. Do bear in mind though, if you do want to exceed that length, don't go crazy and don't start thinking about putting something heavy on the end like a PC, right on the end of maybe your 2-meter wide desk, as you will just cause a little bit of imbalance and you just need to be realistic with what to expect. If you do use a smaller tabletop, I wouldn't recommend taking the legs all the way to the very edge of the tabletop. Leave yourself around a 5cm gap from each side, or a bit of more if you plan on mounting things to the desk like I do with my lights and microphone. When it comes to assembly, the instructions could definitely do with some improvement. Well, honestly, at least some bigger pictures would just be nice. The size of the manual is just a bit on the small side. Maybe if the instructions could be printed to A3 paper instead of A4, it'd be a little bit easier to follow the small diagrams. You know what I'm saying? You've really got to squint to see these kind of pictures. Assembly, honestly though, is fairly straightforward. It's just a case of screwing in 8 screws for the metal underframe of the desk. 6 metal pieces make the main underbelly of the desk. You'll be sliding 2 thinner pieces inside the 4 larger ones, leaves you with 2 large square poles. This is where you need to decide how long they will be, as this determines the width of the tabletop you plan to place on top of them. Then it's just a case of screwing in the 8 screws in total to stop the middle piece from sliding around. After that, just place the 2 heavier pieces, the legs with the motors attached in them, in between the gap between the 2 middle poles and screw in a further 8 screws, 4 for each leg. After that, attach the 2 side pieces. This is where most of the support for the tabletop comes from. 4 screws, 2 on each side, and after that you need to fit the feet. 4 more screws in the bottom of each leg is all you need to complete the leg system. After that, it's time to place your choice of desk on top of the legs. Then things get a little bit more technical and take a little bit more time and a lot of measuring. It may help to get somebody to help you with this. After that, depending on the material of the desk you use, it's probably worth drilling some pilot holes, then following that up with the included screws. If the included screws look a little bit long in comparison to your desktop maybe consider using some penny washers like I did to give you a little extra thickness, or just use some short screws. For me, the penny washers were closest, so I just went for them. After your table is fixed down, it's just a case of screwing the control box to the table. Wherever it is accessible for you, left or right hand side, it really doesn't matter. All you need to do is connect the cable from each leg into the back of the control box and make use of the included extension to extend the length of the cable for whichever leg has the shorter length of cable on it. Then it's just a case of plugging it in and watching your desk rise as you hit the button for the first time. If you want to make your desk look cleaner and avoid having all the cables going down to the floor, I'd advise screwing or sticking an extension lead to the bottom of the desk, so then you only need to run one power cable down to the socket outlet nearby. The only thing I will say is that if you're looking at running several cables down to the floor, don't cable tie them or strap them to the legs, as that will affect the movement of the desk up and down. So if you've got a lot of cables, consider maybe just tying them together with some cable ties or twist ties, or putting maybe a cable sock around them, just to keep things from getting messy and out of control. I've been pretty happy with this setup so far, especially considering how much cheaper it is than the IKEA equivalent, or even other random sit-stand desks that I've seen online. Another plus, it is not too loud or obnoxious, and it's pretty quiet overall. I'll give you guys a quick sound test of the desk going up and down, so you can hear for yourself. Honestly, the only downside was the slightly difficult to read instructions. But now I've assembled it, I could probably disassemble it in just a few minutes and then assemble it again without any issue, which I will undoubtedly need to do at some point in the future. Overall, this new system is incredibly robust and solid, and I'm really looking forward to making use of the desk to get different types of product shots. So honestly, just to save me loosening and tightening the legs of my tripod over and over again to raise it up and down, just to get a slightly different angle when trying to get B-roll. And also to make my life easier when filming myself working on a PC build, so I'm not hunched over or sat awkwardly out of frame. I can have the tripod next to me and I can be stood upright. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the video. If you've got any questions at all, let me know down below. If you like the video, feel free to click that like button. And if you decide my face hasn't offended you, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can check out my next video. Cheers.